You might be thinking, Colleen, 3 books is a lot to read on a 7-day vacation. And you would be right, except for I also read a 4th book, Moving Pictures, by Terry Pratchett. For me, it's not a true trip away to Toronto unless you bring a Pratchett book with you and read it. I've read Pratchett books the last time I went to Toronto and on most of my vacations since I started reading Terry Pratchett. I find that it's just a nice break. It's comical. This one's quite a bit bigger than some of the other books that I've read by him, though, so it's a little bit intimidating. It is almost 400 pages long, and very interesting. It is the start of a new sub-series, and it is the 10th, the Industrial series, I believe, and it's the 10th Discworld novel. I had started reading this a couple years ago, and I have been reading them in the order that they were published. So I have read 1 through 10 now, and I'm continuing on that way, though I know most people just kind of pick and choose at what they want to read. But this way has been working out really well for me so far, so I'm going to continue on. I really enjoyed this book. It had a lot going on, though. It almost had, at some points, too many different characters. It made sense in the end, because everything was wrapped up very neatly. But in the middle, I found it was a little bit slow because there were so many things going on and you weren't quite sure what was happening. So it's not one of my favorite Discworld novels, but I also feel like it's really setting up this new sub-series, so you have to give it some leeway to get a lot of this information into your face. But yeah, it was just super interesting. There was a lot of wordplay in this too, which I always really like. Sir Pratchett is always very clever with the way that he takes things from our world and transfers them into the Discworld, which I've really enjoyed. But I rated this book, I think, a 4 out of 5, so it's a trending rating this month. It was a lot of fun. If you're already reading Discworld, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I'll be able to tell you more about the sub-series when I've read more in it. I've just kind of been stumbling on them as I go. I think the Witches one is my favorite so far. It's just so much fun. I love Granny Weatherwax. This one was also super fun because it brings out characters from Guards and a couple of other ones because it takes place in Ankh-Morpork. And it's just so good. Just so good. Anytime that there's wizards involved, it's always going to be a lot of fun. But that's all I have to say today about Discworld and Moving Pictures by Terry Pratchett. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you didn't like this book or you love it, please let me know about it in the comment section below. I really love talking to people about Discworld. It's one of my favorite series currently for fantasy. I mean, pretty much every series that I read is my favorite series, but this one does hold a very special place in my heart because it's more comical than most. But that's all we have to say for today. If you're looking for me on other parts of the internet to find out what I'm reading in real time, there's a whole bunch of links in the description box down below where you can check me out. But we'll see you in the next video. So long.